This story is created to help you soothe and relax. It's totally okay if you fell asleep anytime while listening. You didn't miss a thing. Tomorrow, you'll receive a totally different story. Let's begin. Brewing Dreams. Chapter 1. Last Semester Blues. The morning sun streamed through the window, casting a warm glow over Emily's room. She lay in bed for a moment longer, savoring the coziness of her blanket. Today marked the beginning of her final semester in high school, a chapter filled with anticipation and a tinge of melancholy. As she got ready, her room seemed to echo with memories. The walls adorned with posters of her favorite bands, the shelf crammed with books she loved, and the desk where she'd spent countless nights studying. All these whispered tales of her journey so far. Breakfast was a quiet affair. Her parents, always supportive, asked about her plans for the day. Emily answered with a smile, hiding the knot of nerves in her stomach. She was excited about graduating, but the thought of leaving behind everything familiar weighed on her heart. At school, the corridors buzzed with the energy of students reuniting after the winter break. Emily exchanged hugs and stories, feeling a surge of affection for these faces she'd known for years. In class, she listened as teachers outlined the semester, each word a reminder that this was a time of lasts. The last first day, the last spring dance, the last exams. Lunchtime brought respite, and Emily sat with her friends under their favorite tree on the school grounds. They chatted about college applications, prom dresses, and the uncertainty of what lay ahead. Emily felt a sense of solidarity. She wasn't alone in her mix of excitement and anxiety. The afternoon classes went by in a blur. Emily found herself doodling in her notebook, her mind drifting to the part-time job she was starting next week at a coffee shop in the mall. It was a step towards independence, a way to save for college, and perhaps a distraction from the inevitable changes. As the final bell rang, signaling the end of the day, Emily walked out with her friends. They made plans to meet over the weekend, clinging to the moments they had left together. Emily knew that these days were precious, each one to be cherished. Back home, she retreated to her room, her sanctuary. She journaled about the day, pouring her thoughts onto paper. It was therapeutic, a way to navigate the maze of emotions she was feeling. Dinner was a lively affair, with her younger brother sharing tales of his middle school adventures. Emily laughed, grateful for the normalcy of family life amidst the whirlwind of her own emotions. That night, as she lay in bed, Emily thought about the coming months. There would be challenges, farewells, and new beginnings. But there was also the thrill of the unknown, the promise of growth. With a deep breath, she let herself drift into sleep, ready to face whatever the final semester brought. Chapter 2. The Coffee Shop Whispers. The morning of Emily's first day at Whispers, the local coffee shop, dawned bright and early. With a mix of nerves and excitement, she donned her new apron, feeling the fabric's unfamiliarity against her school clothes. The mall was just stirring to life, its corridors echoing with the promise of the day ahead. Whispers, nestled in a cozy corner of the mall, was a haven of warmth. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee and baked goods enveloped Emily as she stepped inside. Mrs. Harper, the owner, greeted her with a smile that reached her eyes, immediately putting Emily at ease. "Welcome to Whispers, Emily. Ready to learn the art of coffee?" Mrs. Harper's voice was soothing, like a melody that calmed Emily's racing heart. The morning passed in a blur of activity. Emily learned to operate the espresso machine, a daunting beast at first, but soon a friend under her tentative fingers. The steam from the milk frother hissed like a whispering dragon, and the clink of cups seemed to play a rhythmic song of their own. Emily's first customer was a regular, Mr. Jenkins, who ordered a cappuccino with a twinkle in his eye. "New recruit, eh? Make it a good one, young lady." His teasing words were gentle, encouraging. When she handed him his drink, complete with a shaky attempt at latte art, his genuine gratitude made her glow with pride. As the day progressed, the coffee shop became a bustling hub. Emily met an array of customers, from harried shoppers seeking a caffeine fix to teenagers giggling over iced lattes. Each interaction was brief but significant, teaching Emily the value of a smile, a kind word, and the importance of listening. Lunchtime brought a lull, and Mrs. Harper used the opportunity to share bits of wisdom with Emily. "Every person who walks through that door has a story," she said, gesturing towards the entrance. "This coffee shop is more than just a place for a drink. It's a refuge, a momentary escape, a place for connections." In the afternoon, Emily faced her first challenge, a rush of customers, each order a test of her memory and skill. She moved with a focus she hadn't known she possessed, pouring, frothing, and serving. With each successful order, her confidence grew. "Speak." The regulars intrigued her the most. There was Mrs. Lee, who always ordered a herbal tea and wrote in her journal, and Jake, a young professional whose espresso shots were as strong as his opinions about football. Each of them added a unique flavor to the tapestry of whispers. By the end of her shift, Emily's feet ached, but her heart was full. She had not only survived, but thrived in her first day. As she wiped down the counter, she caught her reflection in the polished espresso machine, a girl on the cusp of adulthood, finding her place in the world, one cup of coffee at a time. Mrs. Harper's approving nod as she locked up the shop was the perfect end to Emily's day. "You did well, Emily. See you tomorrow for another day of whispers and brews." That night, as Emily lay in bed, the events of the day replayed in her mind. She realized she had begun a new chapter, one filled with the promise of growth and the joy of new experiences. Whispers was not just a job, it was a stepping stone to her future, a place where she could write her own story. As sleep claimed her, Emily felt a sense of contentment. She was part of something special, a community woven together by the love of coffee and the whispers of shared moments. Chapter 3: Lessons in Latte. Under the soft glow of the cafe lights, Emily's journey as a barista at Whispers evolved from merely mastering the mechanics of coffee making to absorbing the rich tapestry of life lessons imparted by Mrs. Harper. The coffee shop, with its steady stream of diverse patrons, became a classroom for Emily, each day bringing new insights and challenges. Mrs. Harper, with her years of experience and gentle demeanor, was not just a mentor in the art of coffee, but also in the art of living. As the weeks unfolded, Emily found a rhythm in the ebb and flow of the coffee shop. Between the whir of the grinder and the hiss of the steam wand, Mrs. Harper shared stories from her own youth, each one laced with wisdom and often a hint of humor. "Every person you meet is a chapter in the book of your life," she would say, her hands expertly pouring a latte, "and every chapter adds to your story, making it richer and more complex." Emily soaked in these words, finding parallels in her own life. One particularly busy afternoon, as they worked side by side, Mrs. Harper shared a story from her early days in the coffee business. She spoke of challenges and setbacks, of days when nothing seemed to go right. But the crux of her tale was resilience, the ability to rise after a fall, to learn from mistakes rather than be defeated by them. Emily, carefully wiping down a table, felt these words resonate deep within her. It was a lesson not just about coffee, but about life itself. Among the many skills Emily acquired, the most captivating was latte art. The first time she successfully created a heart in the foam of a cappuccino, she felt an immense sense of accomplishment. Mrs. Harper, watching from across the counter, smiled and said, "Just like in life, Emily, creating something beautiful in a cup of coffee takes patience, practice, and a bit of grace. Don't be afraid to make a few splashes along the way." These words became a mantra for Emily, not just in perfecting her latte art, but in navigating the uncertainties of her senior year. As days turned into weeks, the bond between Emily and Mrs. Harper grew stronger. They shared not just the workspace, but also life experiences. Emily began to view the coffee shop not just as a part-time job, but as a microcosm of the world, a place where lessons were brewed alongside coffee. She learned the importance of listening, not only to the orders of the customers, but to their stories, understanding that everyone has something to teach us. It wasn't just the customers who contributed to Emily's growing wisdom. Her interactions with her coworkers, each from different walks of life, added layers to her understanding of the world. There was Tom, the aspiring writer who scribbled verses on napkins during his breaks, and Lily, a retired teacher who shared anecdotes from her decades of teaching. These interactions, seemingly mundane, were in fact threads in the rich tapestry of Emily's life at Whispers. One evening, as the cafe settled into a quiet hum, Mrs. Harper sat down with Emily, her eyes reflecting the wisdom of years. "Emily," she began, "you're about to step into a world much bigger than this coffee shop. Remember, the lessons you've learned here, resilience, patience, the joy of creating, will guide you. You've brewed more than just coffee in this place. You've brewed a part of your character." Emily listened, a warmth spreading in her chest, realizing the truth in those words. As the chapter of her high school life neared its close, Emily found that her time at Whispers had become an integral part of her journey. The coffee shop, with its symphony of sounds and array of characters, had become a haven, a place where Emily not only served coffee, but also nurtured her soul. Each cup she brewed, each conversation she had, and each lesson she learned was a step towards the person she was becoming. And in the quiet moments, as she cleaned the counters and turned off the lights, she felt a profound gratitude for this unexpected chapter in her life. Chapter 4: A Blend of Friendships. The heart of Whispers wasn't just in its coffee or the cozy ambiance, but in the people it brought together. For Emily, these connections transformed her job into a rich tapestry of friendships, each one unique and special. There was Alex, the aspiring musician whose fingers were as adept with a guitar as they were with a coffee machine, and Mia, the witty and wise high school dropout, determined to get her GED and share her love for poetry. Together, they formed a vibrant crew, each bringing their own dreams and quirks to the mix. Lunch breaks at Whispers turned into mini adventures as the group shared stories and dreams. They talked about everything from music to literature, weaving a bond that went beyond the walls of the coffee shop. Emily found herself looking forward to these moments, the laughter and camaraderie providing a welcome respite from the pressures of her impending graduation and the uncertainties of her future. One particularly memorable day, the team decided to transform their lunch break into an impromptu poetry session. Mia brought her favorite book of poems, and each took turns reading aloud. Emily, usually shy about public speaking, found herself carried away by the rhythm of the words. In that moment, surrounded by her friends and the aroma of coffee, she felt a sense of belonging and liberation. It was a reminder that there were many facets to her personality yet to be explored. As the semester progressed, Emily and her coworkers planned outings after their shifts. They explored local eateries, attended open mic nights, and even had a memorable night stargazing in the park. These experiences deepened their bond, each outing a thread woven into the fabric of their friendship. Emily cherished these moments, understanding that the memories they were creating were as important as any academic achievement. It wasn't just fun and games, though. There were days when the pressure of balancing school, work, and college applications took its toll on Emily. It was during these times that her friendships at Whispers became a source of support and strength. Alex shared his own experiences with managing stress through music, while Mia offered insights from her journey, encouraging Emily to stay true to herself and her dreams. One evening, as they closed the shop, the group sat at a table, sipping on their creations, a unique blend of coffee and conversation. They talked about the future, their hopes and fears. Emily shared her anxieties about college, about stepping into a new world. Her friends listened, offering words of encouragement and sharing their own aspirations. It was a moment of solidarity, a realization that they were all navigating the uncertainties of young adulthood together. As the days passed, Emily began to see her coworkers not just as friends, but as mentors and confidants. They taught her about resilience, about the power of laughter, and the importance of dreaming. In the hustle of the coffee shop, amid the orders and the clattering of cups, they found moments of connection and growth. Emily realized that these friendships were shaping her, helping her to become more confident, more open to the world. The chapter at Whispers was more than just a part-time job for Emily. It was a journey of discovery and connection. The coffee shop, with its ever-present aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the warmth of shared laughter, had become a sanctuary for her. As she looked ahead to the future, she knew that the friendships forged here, in the heart of this small coffee haven, would stay with her, no matter where her path led. Chapter 5: College Acceptance and Fears. The day Emily received her college acceptance letter, the air at Whispers was thick with anticipation. She had applied to her dream college, and as she tore open the envelope with trembling hands, her heart raced with a mix of hope and fear. The words "Congratulations on your acceptance" leaped out at her, igniting a burst of joy, quickly followed by a wave of anxiety. The reality of leaving everything familiar, her family, her high school, and the world she had come to love at Whispers, suddenly loomed large. Conflicted emotions swirled within Emily as she shared her news with Mrs. Harper. The older woman listened with a knowing smile, her eyes reflecting pride and understanding. "It's a big step, Emily," she said softly, "but remember, every new beginning comes with its own challenges and opportunities. Embrace them both with open arms and an open heart." These words, seasoned with the wisdom of experience, offered Emily a sense of comfort and perspective. That evening, as she served a regular customer, Mr. Richards, who always ordered a double espresso, Emily found herself sharing her fears about college. Mr. Richards, a college professor himself, offered his own insights. "College is a time of exploration and growth," he advised, stirring his espresso thoughtfully. "It's normal to feel scared. But believe me, you'll find your way, just as you have here at Whispers." His words, simple yet profound, resonated with Emily, giving her courage. In the days that followed, Emily's anxiety about leaving for college became a frequent topic of conversation among her friends at Whispers. They shared their own stories of change and transition, each narrative weaving a tapestry of support and encouragement. Emily realized she wasn't alone in her fears. Change was a universal experience, one that brought its own gifts and lessons. One rainy afternoon, while cleaning the countertops, Emily's thoughts wandered to the upcoming changes. The familiar hum of the coffee shop, the warmth of the steamed milk, and the scent of fresh pastries, all these had become a part of her. How would she adjust to a new place, new people, and a new routine? The uncertainty of the unknown weighed on her mind. It was during these moments of doubt that Emily found solace in the small yet significant interactions at Whispers. A kind word from a customer, a joke shared with a coworker, or a quiet moment with Mrs. Harper. Each served as a gentle reminder that change, while daunting, also brought new opportunities for connection and growth. As graduation approached, and with it the inevitable farewell to Whispers, Emily began to reflect on her journey. The coffee shop had been more than just a job. It had been a sanctuary, a place of learning and personal growth. The lessons learned here about resilience, embracing change, and the value of connections had prepared her in ways she hadn't anticipated. Whispers had given her a foundation of strength and confidence to face the challenges of college. The chapter of her life at Whispers was drawing to a close, but Emily knew that the experiences and friendships she had forged would stay with her. They were a part of her story now, integral chapters in the book of her life. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind brimming with memories, Emily looked towards the future, ready to embrace the next phase of her journey with the same passion and openness she had found in the heart of the coffee shop. Break 2. Chapter 6: The Farewell Party. As graduation neared and Emily's final days at Whispers approached, the staff and regular customers began planning a surprise farewell party. The coffee shop had become more than just a place of work for Emily. It was a community, a second home. The idea of a party was a testament to the impact she had made on those around her. Hidden conversations and secretive preparations buzzed in the background as everyone at Whispers looked forward to celebrating Emily's new journey. The day of the farewell party arrived, and Emily was greeted by a coffee shop transformed. Streamers in her school colors adorned the walls, balloons floated in the air, and a banner reading, "Good luck, Emily," hung proudly over the counter. The sight took her breath away, filling her with a mix of surprise and heartfelt gratitude. Customers and colleagues alike shared warm smiles and excited whispers, the atmosphere brimming with affection and camaraderie. As the party unfolded, people took turns sharing stories and memories of Emily. Regulars spoke of her kind service and warm smile, while her colleagues reminisced about shared laughs and moments behind the counter. Each story was a thread in the tapestry of her time at Whispers, weaving a picture of the relationships she had nurtured. Emily listened, her heart swelling with love and appreciation for the community she had become a part of. Mrs. Harper, with a gentle smile, presented Emily with a special gift, a journal. "For your new adventures," she said, her voice thick with emotion. The journal was beautiful, its cover inscribed with inspiring words about journeys and dreams. Emily was touched beyond words, feeling a deep connection to Mrs. Harper and the coffee shop that had become a significant part of her life. As the evening progressed, the party turned into a celebration not just of farewells, but of new beginnings. Laughter and music filled Whispers, and Emily felt a sense of joy and completion. She realized that saying goodbye wasn't just about ending a chapter. It was also about acknowledging the growth and experiences that chapter had provided. Speak. Emily took a moment to step outside, gazing at the stars above. The night was serene, a perfect backdrop for her reflections. She thought about her journey, the lessons learned, and the friendships made. Whispers, with its cozy ambiance and the warmth of its people, had given her more than just a job experience. It had given her a treasure trove of memories and skills that would guide her in the years to come. Returning to the party, Emily felt a renewed sense of purpose and gratitude. She made her rounds, thanking everyone for their support and kindness. Each hug, each smile, each word of encouragement was a reminder of the impact she had made and the impact others had made on her. The party was not just a farewell, it was a celebration of community, of the connections that enrich our lives. As the night came to a close and the last guest left, Emily helped Mrs. Harper clean up. They worked in comfortable silence, each lost in their thoughts. Finally, Mrs. Harper turned to Emily, her eyes shining. "You've left your mark here, Emily, and I have no doubt you'll do the same wherever you go." Emily nodded, a mix of sadness and excitement filling her. The chapter at Whispers was ending, but her journey was just beginning. With a heart full of memories and a spirit ready for new adventures, Emily stepped out of the coffee shop, ready to embrace the future with the lessons and love she had garnered from her time at Whispers. Time 2. Chapter 7. Graduation Reflections. Graduation day dawned clear and bright, a perfect setting for the milestone Emily was about to cross. Dressed in her gown and cap, she felt a whirlwind of emotions. Pride, excitement, nostalgia, they all swirled within her as she prepared to bid farewell to her high school years. The ceremony was a blur of speeches, applause, and the march of graduates, each step a punctuation mark in the story of their youth. Emily walked across the stage, her name called out, a symbolic stride into her future. After the ceremony, amidst the sea of caps and gowns, Emily's friends gathered for photos and hugs. Each smile, each tear shed, was a testament to the journey they had shared. They talked about their plans, the colleges they would attend, and the dreams they hoped to pursue. It was a bittersweet symphony of farewells and promises to stay in touch, a recognition of the inevitable changes that lay ahead. Emily's family was her rock during the celebrations. Her parents' eyes brimmed with pride, and her younger brother's playful teasing brought a sense of lightness to the emotional day. At home, they held a small party, sharing memories and toasting to Emily's achievements. Her parents shared words of wisdom and encouragement, reminding her that this was just the beginning of a beautiful journey. Later that evening, in the quiet of her room, Emily took a moment to reflect. She looked around at the familiar walls, adorned with posters and photos, each a snapshot of a moment in her life. Her high school years had been a tapestry of experiences, challenges overcome, friendships forged, and lessons learned. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for all the experiences, both at school and at Whispers, that had shaped her. Packing her school memorabilia into a box, Emily felt a sense of closure. Each item, her yearbook, medals, and art projects, was a piece of her past, a building block for the person she had become. She realized that graduation wasn't an end, but a transition, a bridge to a new and exciting phase of her life. Emily's thoughts drifted to Whispers, the coffee shop that had become a second home. The lessons learned there, the friendships formed, and the confidence gained were invaluable. She felt a surge of gratitude for Mrs. Harper and her colleagues, who had been instrumental in her growth. Whispers had given her more than a job. It had given her a community and a sense of belonging. That night, as she lay in bed, Emily felt a mixture of excitement and uncertainty about the future. College would bring new challenges, new opportunities, and new friendships. But she felt ready, armed with the resilience and strength she had cultivated. Her time at high school and Whispers had prepared her well, teaching her to embrace change with optimism and courage. As sleep claimed her, Emily's mind was filled with dreams of the future, dreams that were both thrilling and daunting. She knew the road ahead would have its share of obstacles, but she also knew that each challenge would be an opportunity to grow. With a heart full of memories and a spirit eager for new adventures, Emily closed this chapter of her life, ready to write the next, with hope and determination. Chapter 8: The Last Shift. Emily's last day at Whispers arrived with a mix of emotions. The familiar scent of coffee and pastries was now tinged with nostalgia. Each task she performed felt poignant. A series of lasts. The last coffee brewed, the last customer served, the last laughter shared with her coworkers. The coffee shop had been her sanctuary, a place of growth and discovery, and saying goodbye was harder than she had anticipated. Throughout the day, regular customers came in to wish her well, each expressing gratitude and sharing memories of their interactions with Emily. It was heartwarming to realize the impact she had made in their lives, no matter how small it seemed at the moment. Mrs. Harper was a quiet presence throughout, offering smiles and encouragement, her eyes reflecting a bittersweet pride. As the day neared its end, Emily took a moment to reflect on her journey at Whispers. She thought of her first day, full of nervousness and uncertainty, and how far she had come since then. The coffee shop had taught her more than just the art of making the perfect espresso. It had taught her about resilience, compassion, and the importance of connections. These lessons, she knew, would stay with her long after she stepped out of the shop for the last time. In a quiet moment, Emily presented Mrs. Harper with a gift, a handmade photo album filled with snapshots of their time at Whispers. The pictures captured moments of laughter, hard work, and the everyday magic that occurred within the walls of the coffee shop. Mrs. Harper leafed through it, each photo sparking a memory, a story. Her eyes glistened with tears as she hugged Emily, whispering words of thanks and encouragement. For her parting gift, Mrs. Harper handed Emily a special coffee mug, one that they had often admired together on the shelf. Engraved on it were the words, "Brew Your Dreams." It was more than just a mug. It was a symbol of Emily's time at Whispers, a reminder to pursue her passions with the same dedication and heart she had shown there. The final hour of her shift was filled with farewells and promises to keep in touch. Emily's colleagues, now dear friends, shared hugs and good-natured jokes, trying to lighten the mood. They spoke of future reunions and the continuation of the friendships they had forged amidst the steaming cups of coffee and the clatter of saucers. As Emily turned off the lights and locked the door of Whispers for the last time, she felt a profound sense of gratitude and accomplishment. She had not only earned money for college, but had also enriched her life with experiences and relationships that money couldn't buy. The coffee shop had been a chapter in her life, one filled with growth, challenges, and joy. Stepping out into the evening, Emily looked back at the warmly lit windows of Whispers, feeling a surge of emotions. She was leaving behind a part of herself, but she was also carrying a part of Whispers with her. The lessons learned, the friendships made, and the memories created would be a guiding light in her next adventure. With a heart full of memories and a spirit ready for new challenges, Emily walked into the night, ready to embrace the future and all its possibilities. Chapter 9. Packing Up, Looking Forward. The night before leaving for college, Emily found herself surrounded by open suitcases and piles of belongings in her room. Each item she packed was a symbol of a chapter in her life. Books from school, photographs with friends, and souvenirs from Whispers, including the special coffee mug from Mrs. Harper. Packing was not just an act of preparing for college. It was a ritual of transitioning from one phase of life to another. With each item she placed in her suitcase, Emily felt a mix of nostalgia and excitement for the journey ahead. Amidst her belongings, Emily found the journal given to her at the farewell party. She opened it and began to write, pouring her thoughts and feelings onto the pages. The act of writing provided a sense of clarity and calm, helping her to process the whirlwind of emotions she was experiencing. The journal, already a cherished possession, was set to become a faithful companion in her college years, a canvas for her thoughts, dreams, and experiences. Her family came together to help her pack, turning the task into a moment of bonding and reflection. They shared stories, offered advice, and spoke of the future with a hopeful tone. Emily's parents expressed their pride in her achievements and their confidence in her ability to navigate the new chapter in her life. Her brother, though teasing as always, showed signs of missing his sister. These moments with her family were precious, a reminder of the unwavering support system she had at home. As she packed her last few items, Emily's mind wandered to Whispers. She thought about the early mornings, the rush of the coffee shop, and the quiet conversations with Mrs. Harper. The experiences at Whispers had been more than just a job. They had been a period of growth and learning. The friendships and lessons from the coffee shop were now an integral part of who she was, shaping her outlook and approach to the future. With her suitcases packed, Emily took a moment to look around her room, now bare and echoic. It was hard to believe that she was leaving, stepping out into a world filled with new challenges and opportunities. The familiarity of her room, the memories it held, were comforting. Yet she felt an undeniable excitement for the unknown adventures that awaited her in college. That night, as Emily lay in bed, her mind buzzed with thoughts of college. She imagined her new dorm room, the classes she would take, and the people she would meet. There was an underlying current of anxiety, a natural response to the unknown, but it was outweighed by a sense of readiness and eagerness to embrace new experiences. Emily's thoughts also turned to the friendships she had formed at Whispers. She knew that maintaining these relationships would require effort, especially with the distance college would bring. Yet she was determined to stay connected, to nurture these bonds that had become so important to her. The coffee shop had taught her the value of connections, and she was not about to let them slip away. As sleep finally overcame her, Emily felt a profound sense of gratitude for the journey she had been on so far. The highs and lows, the challenges and triumphs had all contributed to her growth. She was ready to face college, armed with the lessons from her past, the support of her family, and the memories of Whispers. With a heart full of hope and a spirit open to the wonders of the future, Emily drifted into dreams, poised on the brink of a new and exciting chapter of her life. Time to space. Chapter 10, Coffee Shop Reunion. Several years later, during a college break, Emily found herself pushing open the door to Whispers, the familiar jingle of the bell welcoming her back. The coffee shop was as she remembered, cozy, warm, and filled with the rich aroma of coffee. Stepping inside, she felt a rush of nostalgia, the memories of her time here flooding back in vivid detail. Mrs. Harper, still the heart and soul of Whispers, greeted Emily with open arms and a bright smile. "Emily, look at you, all grown up and radiant," she exclaimed. They sat down at Emily's favorite table, and as Mrs. Harper poured her a cup of coffee, they began to catch up. Emily shared stories of her college life, her studies, and the new friends she had made. She spoke of the challenges and triumphs, the late-night study sessions, and the exhilarating feeling of independence. Listening to Emily, Mrs. Harper nodded with pride. "I always knew you'd do great things," she said. "You had that spark in you, even back then." They reminisced about Emily's time working at Whispers, laughing over past incidents and marveling at how quickly time had passed. Mrs. Harper shared updates about the coffee shop, the regulars, and the new faces that had become part of the Whispers family. As they talked, other familiar faces from Emily's past at Whispers stopped by to say hello. Each reunion was a joyful reminder of the bonds she had formed here. The coffee shop had been more than a workplace. It had been a community, a place of learning and connection. Emily realized that the lessons and friendships from Whispers were still a part of her, influencing her life in subtle yet significant ways. The afternoon slipped away as they chatted, the coffee shop buzzing with activity around them. Emily felt a deep sense of contentment, a feeling of coming full circle. The young girl who had once been nervous about her future was now a confident young woman, shaped by her experiences and the people she had met along the way. Before leaving, Emily took a moment to savor the atmosphere of Whispers one last time. She looked around at the bustling coffee shop, at Mrs. Harper chatting with customers, at the baristas skillfully preparing drinks. This place, with its blend of aromas and sounds, had been a pivotal part of her journey. It was a chapter she would always cherish, a reminder of where she had come from and the growth she had achieved. As Emily said her goodbyes and stepped out of Whispers, she felt a surge of gratitude. The coffee shop, Mrs. Harper, and the people she had met here had played an integral role in her story. They had helped shape her into the person she was today. With a heart full of memories and a spirit looking forward to the future, Emily walked down the street, ready for the next chapter of her life, carrying with her the lessons and love from her time at Whispers. Walking away, Emily glanced back at the coffee shop one more time. The lights inside glowed warmly against the twilight sky, a beacon of her past and a symbol of her journey. She knew that no matter where life took her, the experiences and connections from Whispers would remain with her, a comforting presence in her heart. With a smile, Emily turned the corner, her steps light and hopeful, embarking on the next adventure that life had in store for her.